Hi everyone. Today I'll explain how locators work in Playwright and how we can use them effectively to find and interact with elements of a web page. So, if you have watched my earlier session, you must have observed that I have made use of one demo website and I have written one test case for visiting this website using Playwright. And so, if you could recall this test case, as you can see over here, login.spac.js, and we have visited this website. Now let's just focus on the next part where we will be writing the test case for login of the this website page. Now for that we need locators, and locators we can find by making use of the just right click on any element and inspect that element into the Chrome. So let's just see if I can see that over here we have one input element, and if I want to write the locator for it, I have two ways. First way is to write the CSS selector for it, and another way is for writing the XPath for it. So first let's just understand about the CSS selectors, then we will be discussing about the XPath. Now let's just click Control F, and over here we will be writing the selector for this specific DOM element. As you can see, when I hover over it, it is basically highlighting the username element because we basically selected this element. Or you can do it by clicking on this and hover over it and click on it, and it will highlight that specific element. Now there are many ways of writing the CSS selectors. So first way would be to provide the element name. So element name is input. Now as you can see over here, by making use of the element name, you are not able to find the unique identifier since it has three uh, inputs in on this page only. So it as you can see, when I click on the, I have password input, I have username input, I have also the login button input. So if I want to uniquely identify this specific locator for username, then I have to make use of that element attributes as well. So let's just add one unique attribute, and that could be id. Id is the best choice because most of the time it is unique. So let's just provide attribute a name and its value. So its value is user hyphen name. Provide the same over here, close it. As you can see, now it is able to uniquely identify that specific element. As you can see, it is one of one, so it is only locating that specific element for username. So by making use of the id attribute along with the element name, I was able to find the locator for this username. Now for example, if you don't have id for any specific element, then we you can also make use of other attributes. For example, you can make use of the placeholder attribute, you can make use of the data test attribute or name attribute or any other unique attribute. So let's just try other attribute, that is placeholder. Just simply write placeholder over here, and over here provide the value of the placeholder. So value of the placeholder is user name. As you can see, it is also uniquely identifying the element. So we can also use this a selector for specifying the input element for username, or we can also make use of the name attribute. Let's just write, instead of placeholder, let's just write name over here. And as you can see, name is name value is different, so let's just provide the different value for it. as you can see, it is able to uniquely identify the username element. So in this way we can write the css selector for specific dom element. Now now that you are clear about the css selector, let's just go for the xpath selector. For writing the xpath, it starts with the two forward slashes. Okay, now you have to provide the element name that was provided in css selector as well, that is input. As you can see over here, it is also finding the three inputs on this page. So it is not uniquely identifying my username element, so for that also I have to provide attribute to it. So let's just use id attribute for but there is a slight difference between css selector and xpath. You have to make use of the at the rate uh, before the attribute name. So as you can see, user name. Okay, now you will be able to uniquely identify the username element using xpath. Now instead of id you can provide any other attribute over here. For example, I can make use of placeholder. Let's just make use of placeholder. Okay, so that way let's just update its value as well. Please make sure to use the correct attribute name and its value to avoid getting the wrong locators. Okay, so now that we have found the locator for the username, let's just go to my project and add this locator into that project. So let's just go to this project and create one new test case. Now that we have visited the website, our next test case will be handling about the login to the page, login to the website. Now I have provided the test name. Now I'll be writing method which provides the functionality for this method. Now it should be the arrow function. I hope you know what arrow function is, and if you don't know, please go through your JavaScript fundamentals. Okay, so now in this method I'll be destructuring page, that is the part of the playwright component. Now let's just make use of await and use this page dot. Now with page I'll be making use of the locator method. So in this locator method I'll be providing this locator that I have found for the username. So let's just go over here once. Let's just copy this locator and add this locator into our playwright project. Please make sure to provide this locator in the string only. Now I have found the locator for username, but as you can see over here, this element is taking text input, right? So I need to provide the input as well. So for that you can make use of one fill method that is provided by the playwright. In the by making use of the fill method you can provide any input to the element. So let's just use this username, this valid username from the site, add this username, and that's it. Okay, and please make sure to add this go to method into my new test case as well. Okay, so let's just try to run this test case by this command npx playwright test and open it in the UI mode. Now, as you can see, I am able to find my test case over here. Log into the website. For that, I need to run it and see how it's working. So it has visited the site source demo and it has found the username element. It has also filled the value, if I'm not wrong, and it is passed properly. So let's just check. Okay, so let's just go to the next step, that is by finding the locator for this password element. Just click on the inspect button, click on that element, find the selector for it. So let's just write it once again. As you can see, we have the same type of element. Let's just write input, but after that since we have three inputs, so I have to also provide the as unique attribute to it. Let's just make use of id over here, and id is password, so provide that into the string. So I have provided the id value as well. As you can see, it is able to uniquely identify this locator. Now let's just add this locator into our project. Okay, again call await page.locator and provide that locator, and then provide the text that is required from our side. So what is the password that is expected by the site? It is this password, secret sauce. Add this password into our project. Okay, now that we are done with adding the text at this username as well as in the password, last step would be to clicking on this login button. So let's just inspect this button as well. As you can see over here, it is also of input type element, so input will be the same details, it's just that we need to change the attribute for it. So let's just navigate to the login button first and find the id for it. As you can see, it has the id login button, so let's just add the same attribute, id login button. Okay, so it is able to uniquely identify the element, so we can use it into our project. Please make sure that you are uniquely identifying any element that you are going to use in your project. Otherwise there will be failures, and that will definitely will leading to the flaky test cases. So please make sure to find the unique elements. Now that we have found the button locator, now we want to click on that button, right? So there is one method click that we can make use of from the playwright to log into that website. Now let's just run this again and see how it goes. Okay, just click on it and let's see. Okay, it is able to click on the login button, and it is able to navigate to this swag lab website. But we should always make sure to provide assertions like I have written the test for the login page. I should always make sure that it has reached to the main dashboard page after logging. So let's just find the scenario from over here. Provide the username, provide the password, and click on the login button. Now I can how am I going to verify that it has reached to this page? I can verify its URL, or I can verify its heading. So both are going to work fine. So let's just verify its heading. So how am I going to do that? Let's just click Control F again and write the locator for it. So as you can see, element was div. Okay, there are so many divs. Let's just see which div we were talking about. If you are not able to find from these so many divs, you can directly inspect that element again, and you will be able to find that specific element that you are targeting. Now it has one class app logo, so you can make use of that class over here and see if it can verify it uniquely. If it is not going to do that, we are going to make use of any other locator. Okay, as you can see, it can uniquely identify that specific element. Now as you can see over here, I have written the XPath for it by providing the two forward slashes, then providing the element name, then I have prefixed the attribute name with at the rate, like at the rate, then attribute name equals to attribute value. So you can also make use of this XPath. Otherwise you can also write the CSS selector for it. Let's just quickly write the CSS selector for it. Div, and provide the class name over here, and that is app logo. Okay, so by making use of CSS selector as well, you are able to uniquely identify this element. So let's just provide the assertions over here. Let's just go back to our project and provide assertions using the expect method. Sorry about that. Expect locator. What was our locator? You can write locator before this expect method. Let's just find the locator first. Const dashboard locator over here. Await page dot locator and provide the locator for the logo. Okay, so and pass this locator in this expect method. So what was the dashboard locator? And now we are going to verify the text for it to contain text. So we are going to verify that this locator should be existing, and it should contain the text that I'm going to provide in this method. So what is the text of this? So this is the text. You can directly copy it to avoid making mistakes from the Chrome Dev Tools. Okay, so I have provided the text. Now let's just run this method once again. Uh, okay, Let's just run it once again. Let's just see how it goes. Okay, it has visited the site, it has asserted, and it has passed successfully. As you can see, it is verifying the Swag Labs uh, element in the end after a successful login. Okay, so we can close our locator discussion for now.